So, and perhaps or indeed, the oil foundation is the border of the fifth dimension. The dimension is the element of design to control itself into the maximum number of oil for the position of a timer. In this way, the composition of the oil is a tree out into the atmosphere. And in this time, when you work out the corrects of the plural, you will return home. The minimum number of the maximum number of the oil tree will return home in the border of the fifth dimension. The dimension is 1 on 3, 1 on 3, and 2 on 1, which is the fifth ruler by the fixin. In that time, when you work out the corrects of the oil, you will rewind the program of 93248, which is the fifth division to complex itself into network 5. In this way, the composition of a timer will unperhaps itself into the deed of 1 on 3, and in that time, when you work out the aura, you will return home into the maximum number of treehouse. In the matter of time, when you pattern another law, you will return home into the maximum number of oil to treat out the corrects. Any corrects into this position will be the A-way in the Rirana. The University of Mankind will be the hellholder into Facebook number 5, the majority of law. Relaxation will give you a tapana of law, based upon the element of law by the composition. Any composition by the computer system is the minimum number of oil to practice the proverb. Any proverb is the element of the design to sync the system and to be one in. In that time when you know Adana, Badana, Dalala, you will rewire into the fifth position. In this time, when you have a cook shop, you'll be one in. Manifestation. The dibulums. We've been there. But collecting the majority of law by the dibulums is the consumption of the dibulum in the tax file independency. Any independency you will return home by the fifth border to position itself into the corrects, because in that time the corrects will be re-inning itself into the panana of law by the diameter, and in that time when it works out the kongna, you be the patata of law by the transmission. Any transmission of the program will return home by the manifestation in the fifth border of ruler. In that time when you sit like this, see my eye? You like me to know. But movies are movies, cartoons are cartoon, myths are myths in relation to Jesus Christ. But the maximum number of Jesus Christ is the diameter of Jesus Christ to discharge me in the hospitality. The hospitality is one on time to know how to sing a song and to minimize the border of the dimension. In that way, the controller will be 3P631582, diameter 1. So, relaxation is good for you to need to know the intellect of technology before you refire it into the transmission. Any transmission of this oil tree is the best dan kashka in relation to ishka ane, badat ishkana, dama ishkana, dala ishkana, bunu ikana, dana akana. Vocabulary. Dr. T. Santra, you said to me speech communication, but in the vocabulary, to understand the dimension is the fifth way for the mineral. This calculator is the minimal. In this calculator is 3P8. When you know how to cook on the better days of life, you be 10, 4, 3. In that way, the diameter of the ruler is the position of the timer to control itself into the nanana, to understand the movie. We've been there, have we not? In relation to expression. The in mode of the expression is the in time of knowing how to be on the better days of life to convert itself into the manifestation. Any manifestation will be the fifth border to rock the cybertron in relation to the demisal. But in that way, the demisal by the computer system is minimizing into one. And in that term, you be Patisha. Vocabulary number 10. In a matter of time, when you know how to sing a song, it is the diameter of Rolex in the watches. So, Jesus Christ, you may play with Tony Banner in relation to knowing how to sing a song by the triplets of this core. This core is the dimension of lawyers to position itself into the maximum number of ambush by 3P, 3P and 6363 in relation to Jesus Christ. In that time, when you work out the corrects of the trunk, you will pin yourself into knowing. The controller of the fifth way position is the velocity of mankind to be on Jesus Christ to look like a shot. So in that way, when you have the velocity of mankind, you will pin out the data core of the technology to repin the independent way. Practicing the vocabulary of the vocabulary will be the tashkama of law based upon the element of law to convey itself into the anna. The fifth position will be konna itself into the fifth way to know how this grid look. But when you insult or in perhaps yourself, the diameter of the provision to each select the internal data is Vadachta, Batatashka, Bananana, Botochakong, Ananana.